4 steps to house hacking your first investment property. Hi, I'm Ryan Taylor with the Achieve Real Estate team in Lansing, Michigan. And today we're going to talk about the benefits of house hacking and how you can get started. So what is house hacking? It's actually when you buy an investment property and you live in one of the units and rent the other ones out. Usually it's common between a 2 to 4 unit property. 2 of the biggest benefits of house hacking are that it's one great way to get started with the lowest amount of risk and the least amount of money out of pocket. So what do we mean by that? Usually when we come across clients who are trying to get started in investing, the biggest concerns they have are that they just don't know what to do to get started, and they're not sure how much they actually need out of pocket to get into the game. We say it's low risk because usually when you're living at the property, as long as at least one of the units are rented out, it's typically covering most, if not all, of your living expenses. So if you're used to paying $800 to $1,200 a month, usually it knocks your rent down to $200, $300, $400 a month, if not zero. When I first house hacked for 1 year, I lived in one unit and the other 2 units were rented out, and they covered all of our living expenses. We were living rent free. So in theory, usually when you move out after approximately a year or 2, you're able to rent out all 3 units, or in this case 2 units or 4 units, and actually cash flow on the property. So the other big benefit is that as an owner occupant, you can lock in the best type of financing and hold it for a long term, like 30 years, for example. And typically you can expect down payments anywhere from 0% up to 5%, as opposed to 20 to 25% if it were an investment property where you didn't live in the property at any time. And the beauty of house hacking is that once you lock in this financing, once you move out, that financing stays in place. So you've essentially used the owner occupant status to secure that financing, and then it stays in place whether or not you live there after you've been there for at least a year. So now we're going to talk about 4 steps for you to get started in house hacking today. Step 1, you have to choose where you want to invest. You want to pick your location. This is different than buying it as an investment property, because once you're house hacking, you're living there, you're living in the investment property. So this has to be a location where you actually want to live and where you want to, in the long term, have an investment property, because in theory, you'll live there for at least a year or 2 and then move out and then hold on to it for the long term. Step 2, you should talk with a lender, preferably somebody who's local, so you can work with them one-on-one to see what kind of programs they offer and what you would qualify for. So 3 of the common programs in order to house hack are FHA, VA, or conventional financing. Usually FHA and VA have less stringent requirements than conventional and the least amount of money down. VA loans offer 0%, while FHA loans are typically 3.5% down payment. Conventional is usually around 3.5% to 5%, depending on what the lender offers at the time. Step 3, start to analyze deals so you can even figure out what is a good deal for now and the future. We typically use a calculator to determine what the cash-on-cash return is, and that's one of our biggest metrics when we're looking at investment properties, whether we're house hacking or buying as a non-owner occupied investment. Cash-on-cash just means whatever money you spend out of pocket up front, how long is it going to take you to recoup that investment? And that's your ROI, or cash-on-cash return. So, for example, if your cash-on-cash is 10%, that means it's going to take you approximately 10 years to recoup your initial investment. They say the stock market returns are anywhere from 6 to 8%. So if you can get a higher return investing in real estate, that's usually what we shoot for. If I'm going to get a 5% cash-on-cash return, I might as well just invest in an index fund or some type of stock. That way I don't have to go through the process of buying real estate and holding on to it, managing it. Step 4, you've got to start making offers and going to look at properties. Different areas of Lansing have different rents that you can charge. So if you're looking for a certain amount of cash flow, it really depends on where it is. So the best thing that you can do is go look at a bunch of properties to see what areas warrant certain rents. And that way you'll get a better understanding of rental rates and value in certain areas to see what you can charge now and what you can actually do to the property if you wanted to increase rents. So that's 4 steps to get started in house hacking. Stay tuned for more videos on buying, selling, or investing in real estate, and we'll catch you on the next one.